G'day, this is Dave Boyle, and today I'd like to introduce a new system for teaching decorative thread art called Stix. What you can see on the screen is a set of templates which are designed to show you how to set up and complete a decorative wrap step by step with accompanying videos and tutorials. It's aimed at the absolute beginner who's never done a cross wrap before, as well as intermediate wrappers who'd like to practice their techniques and improve their skills. I hope it helps you to get into the wonderful world of decorative thread art. Here is a virtual look at the Stix template showing how it looks both when it has been cut out and also when it's been applied to a piece of dowel. So this is what the Stix template looks like. It's downloadable from threadcentral.net. And here's a list of other items you'll need. You'll need a length of dowel, around 20 inches or 50 centimetres long, some scissors, a glue stick, and some masking tape. So there are some instructions on the template. And if we look at the instructions, it says cut out, then glue the back side of this area. So what I've done already is to cut out the template around the dotted lines. The important thing is making sure that these edges are cut reasonably straight, because when we wrap this around the dowel, those edges have to meet up, and if you've cut it not very straight, you'll have a difficult time making a nice join where those edges meet. Take the template which we've cut out, and we will apply the glue as directed. And the idea is to start along one edge, say the bottom edge, and put a nice amount of glue there. And then we want to line that up as straightly as we can against the bottom of the dowel. Not sure how well you'll see this on the screen, but you want to have it so that the template is straight compared to the dowel. And then we roll it and apply quite a bit of pressure with your fingers so that it starts to take, and then roll it up towards you, and then help the edge of that template take by rubbing your finger along it several times. And then we'll do a test fit before we apply more glue, and we'll roll it around. And what you should find is that the edge of one end lines up nicely with the printout on the other. What I'll do now, knowing that that will line up reasonably well, is I'll take my glue stick again, apply the glue to that edge, and then roll it around. And what you'll then see is that we have a nicely applied template to our dowel. And in this video, we'll show how to use some tape to prepare the ends to receive the threads. We first of all look at the end that says tape, sticky side out. We can see that that's at both ends. But what we're going to do is start at one end, and we're going to apply this tape so that the sticky side ends up facing outwards, and that will be a good anchoring point for our threads. And wrap it around, say, one revolution. And then once that is in place, make sure it's firmly anchored. We then want to double the tape back over itself. And we want to be able to hold that fairly tight so that we get a nice snug fit. As we lay more and more threads, these pieces of tape will get full of threads, and we'll have to apply additional layers partway through the wrap. Just before we get into physically laying threads onto the wrap stick, I'd like to show you what sequence will be fired for this particular pattern. The pattern is a type of cross, and the sequence followed is cross out, box out. This means there's a centre black cross moving outwards at the same rate as the surrounding red box. Each of the lines drawn on the screen represent the threads you'll be laying onto the wrap stick to form the pattern. And I've drawn these lines on the screen with a small gap between each thread, simply so that you can see more clearly where the next threads are appearing. When you actually wrap this on the wrap stick, each of those gaps need to be packed until you don't see any gaps at all. Here's a quick look at how the pattern, which you've seen in 2D, will also look in 3 dimensions. So I'm going to start by placing my black or very dark blue thread facing away from the wrap and give it, say one revolution, and then start to wrap back the other way. And the reason I do that is the tape starts to hold the thread, but as I apply a bit of pressure, by having the thread wrap over itself, that anchors the thread even more securely, and so I can then apply a bit more tension, and I know that that thread is not going to come off the tape. From this point onwards, you can continue laying passes of thread, following the sequence of cross out, box out, and pausing to pack the patterns every few passes. So here I've done another set of passes and I want to do a bit of packing. So using my packing tool, I start to push threads together, pushing typically at the corners. Wrapping a pattern that goes out, I would typically pack inwards and vice versa. And the idea is we want to close up any obvious gaps. So another pass of thread has gone down and I've just spent some time packing that pass. As you can see, the pattern is starting to form nicely. Another set of passes has gone down and I've spent some time packing. So the last pass that forms the pattern has gone down and I've spent some time packing it. You can see that the red threads at the edges don't want to stay in place because they need some background threads to hold them in place. But the actual pattern, the star formation has formed quite nicely. And here's a virtual look at the finished wrap in both 2D and 3D. That brings us to the end of the Wrap Stix tutorial video for the cross-out, box-out pattern. I look forward to seeing you post pictures of your finished wraps and seeing what variations you can come up with, including shading and various different colour schemes. Remember, the Wrap Stix are designed to help you learn decorative wrapping. I'm sure you'll have some questions along the way. For more templates and resources, please visit threadcentral.net. I'm Dave Boyle, Tight Wraps.